And away we go. It is the Nightcap, brought to you by Galactic Fried Chicken right here on BearcatJournal.com. www.galacticfriedchicken.com. Go to the website. They will deliver right to your front door, pretty much anywhere inside the 275 loop. Or head down to Dayton, Kentucky. Tell them to pump it up. Get 15% off of your order. Always a good time. Wednesday through Sunday, lunch and dinner for the Galactic goodness. It is out of this world. Aaron.
Yo.
I know you've been busy today. Have you had a chance to see the number I just put on Twitter, the stat that I just put on Twitter?
Negative. I've been grocery shopping.
Let's play a game. Cincinnati has played 9 Big 12 games.
Yes.
8 of those games have seen the other team play a game after. Obviously, we have not seen Texas Tech play a game after playing the Bearcats. Right. In those 8 games, what do you think the opponent's record is the game after playing Cincinnati?
I will say, just knowing the 4-4.
0-8.
Wow.
Teams the game after playing Cincinnati have not won.
I had
not a single
idea. Even with the disparity of this league and knowing the way that this league goes, everything's a coin flip. I would not have guessed that it was 100% anything.
Yeah. That is the physicality. That is how hard you have to play when you're playing against Wes Miller's team this year. It's impressive. Yeah. But I've got a lot to get to tomorrow night. Like I got a lot of stuff in my brain that I really want to talk about that we didn't necessarily get to last night. That we're at the halfway point of the conference season.
We are.
So like the sample size is big enough now that you have a pretty good feel for this conference. We'll get to that when we get done with yesterday's results and we look at the standings. Have you looked at the standings?
Well, that's what we do here tonight, right?
Yeah, but I mean, have you just glanced at the standings?
Again, I've been a little preoccupied today.
Essentially, there's 2 games separating 1st and 12th.
That doesn't surprise me in the least.
No, not in this league. It's crazy. All right, let's get to yesterday, which was another wild day in the league. Kansas, 78-65 over Houston, and it was never really that close. Houston, kind of made a little bit of a move late in the last 5-6 minutes of that game. But in the middle of the second half, Kansas was up 20, and they looked like they were in a scrimmage. Like they looked like they were practicing their scout team. They dismantled Houston's defense, just absolutely decimated it in a way that I haven't seen in a long time. Now that Johnny Furphy is going, I'm confident in saying, Aaron, Kansas has the best 5 in the league. They have no depth.
And
none. They have no depth, but they have the best 5.
I said last week that until Kansas lost to Houston, that they held the crown. And if they had lost at home to Houston, then they would have given Houston the crown for this conference at this point. Kansas defended the crown. So
I mean, look, Kansas has been doing this for 2.5 decades, where the league runs through them. Somebody might get them, but it ain't gonna be easy, and you're gonna have to beat them at Allen Fieldhouse to do it. And Houston was not close. They were not close.
What was going on with Francis that he only played 4 minutes?
I don't know. I was
hurt,
in
or
and
they
out.
just okay. I'll have to look into that and maybe we can update. But I did not realize he only played 4 minutes.
I didn't either. I mean, I was bouncing around and had it on, but let's see.
You hold Shed to 7 points, and that's not how a Houston team is going to win a game.
Right.
shed with only 7 points, despite Cryer with 24, Roberts with 11, Emmanuel Sharp with 11. You got nothing.
Don't look now. Don't look now, but Johnny Furphy becoming a dude. Quick. Real quick.
Almost like we saw him get his launch start.
Yeah.
God.
17, 3 of 4 from 3, 6 of 7 from the floor. And stat-wise, it looked almost identical to the Cincinnati game.
Yeah. What might have been?
Oh, well. What can you do? Kansas moves to they're now tied atop the league at 6-3. With Kansas having the tiebreaker for now, but those two teams play the final regular season game of the year in Houston. And I'm sure Houston will have probably 3,500 of the rowdiest fans show up. The other top 25 game was a wild one. Baylor 70, Iowa State 68. I don't know how much you saw this one, Aaron. Scott Drew got ejected.
I heard. We were watching,
or
we were doing our show. We were doing our show, and they
Yeah.
put that in the chat last night.
He didn't say a word, either technical.
The hell did he get ejected for?
Being out of the coach's box. Two technicals.
I
You're
do
out.
recall seeing that. Well,
To the point that Baylor's athletic director basically said Big 12 officiating is an atrocity, and we will be taking this up further with the league office.
oh. Well.
It was a hell of a game.
I still got the dub.
Both teams kind of, for a while, Iowa State looked like they were gonna pull away and get a big road win, and then Baylor would come back, take a little bit of a lead, and it went back and forth. And then I don't know if you saw the end. So Iowa State ball out of bounds with 2 seconds left at the far baseline. Iowa State inbounds, and the clock operator starts the clock early.
Oh, no.
So they go to the monitor and determine that 0.8 of a second had ran off, and that Iowa State would get the ball at midcourt with 1.2 seconds left in the game. They just arbitrarily decided 0.8 of a second was the number that magically ran off, even though the clock wasn't right. Iowa State inbounds, guy catches, flips. Their big guy gets the ball, 40-footer, off glass, good, on his fingertips when the clock hit 0. Shot waved off. Baylor wins by 2.
Oh, no.
It was wild. It was wild. I said it on the internet. I said it on X last night. This league is so stupid. I love it. It's so stupid.
Why not just reset the whole play from the inbound?
Yeah. Stop it. 2 seconds. We're going to start over. No, they had to interject themselves and move it to 1.2. And literally at 0, the shot was like on his fingertips when the clock hit 00. If they had set it at 1.3, Iowa State wins the game.
These refs in this conference are they're getting no love from anybody.
Could you imagine our show last night if we had to go live and talk about that? If we were Iowa State?
Might have just been Ewenberg.
Your computer would have been broken and out in the front yard.
I can't hear you.
Moving on. BYU takes care of business at West Virginia, 86-73. BYU now 4-4 in the league. They will hang out in the top 25. Traore with 24 and 9 for the Cougs. And that's, BYU gets done what Cincinnati couldn't this week.
Yeah. Again, this is one of the teams that lost the game after playing Cincinnati. So I guess nothing too surprising there. Battle still
That might be a
not
gambling note you want to store in the back of your noggin.
Battle
Take
only 14.
take Cincinnati's previous opponent money line.
Yeah.
Ride it.
Battle 14 points. Creasa 23 points. Jesse Edwards 16-7. Not quite what he did against Cincinnati, but
yeah,
none of it enough. Trevin Nell only getting 9 points. Still, that dude
you're gonna drive you nuts every time you look at his stat line.
Be better.
Oklahoma falls to 4-5 in Big 12 play. They go to Orlando and fall 74-63. A game that UCF was pretty much in control throughout. Oklahoma feels like a team you might want to fade a little bit coming down the stretch, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I guess never count UCF out, especially at home.
Not at home. Yeah, at home they're tough.
They have lost at home, so it's not an immaculate stat or anything. They've lost to Baylor, they've lost to BYU, but they do play tough at home, and I don't know. UCF's surprised the hell out of me throughout all of conference play.
Well, I mean, their defense is going to be good. Johnny Dawkins has always had good defensive teams down there. Their offense is a little, I mean, even though it's not great, it's been good enough a couple times for them. So that's going to be a dangerous one because, you're dealing with this 3-game stretch here. Texas Tech, Houston, and Iowa State, and then boom, there's UCF again at their place. So
Oklahoma scored 34 of their 63 off the bench.
Yeah. I don't love that Oklahoma team down the stretch.
They're such a weird team.
Yeah. Speaking of weird teams, good Texas showed up on Saturday. 77-66. They get the win over TCU. And it feels like TCU just can't get to a full head of steam. Like every time they start building up some momentum, whack. And that was a big whack at home as Texas. I mean, look, in this league, Aaron, an 11-point win is a blowout. TCU got the doors beat off. They got their brakes beat off. 77-66.
TCU, it feels like in their wins, Jameer Nelson has a very big game. In their losses, Jameer Nelson has a stinker of a game. And in this one, 22 minutes, 1 of 8 from the field, 3 points, 1 rebound, 2 assists. Not a great game in 22 minutes. I'd be losing my mind if we had a guy by the name of Jameer Nelson going that stat line.
And he gave up 21 to Asmus.
Oof.
Look, I know Emmanuel Miller's their best player, but you might be onto something. Jameer Nelson might be their most important.
I think he's the glue guy for TCU.
Yeah. He's the GSD guy. Get shit done. When he doesn't GSD, you're in trouble. When he GSDs, you're going to win a lot of games. When he doesn't,
I thought you were going to say, go sit down.
No. Get shit done. Got to have a GSD guy. And then finally, Oklahoma State, Aaron, don't look now. 2 wins. We were right. We nailed this one on Thursday. We said, look, Kansas State's not playing well. Oklahoma State might sneaky get Kansas State. They might get them.
Sure enough.
They got them.
They had 5 players score double digits. This is a team without a star, really, but a team that is fun to watch. And 75 points in this conference is nothing to take for granted. 75 points is a lot of points in any of these conference games.
Yep. All right, you ready for this, Aaron?
What am I
Kansas
ready
State and Houston, 6-3 in the league. The next three teams: Baylor, Iowa State, Texas Tech, 5-3, half a game out, and then TCU 5-4, 1 game out. That is 6 teams within a game of first place in this league.
Nuts.
BYU, a game and a half out at 4-4, and then at 4-5, UCF, Texas, Oklahoma, Cincinnati, and Kansas State. West Virginia at 3-6, Oklahoma State at 2-7. So at the halfway point, 12 teams are either in first or within 2 games of first.
That's crazy.
I mean, like, going back to the American, at this point in the season, 2 teams were within 2 games of first, and everybody else is already like 4 games out.
Well, and good on Oklahoma State for stringing together a couple wins to remain within 4 games of this entire circus of a conference.
It's so stupid. It's so stupid. Tomorrow night is going to be interesting as we get into. It's kind of an abbreviated week. I think 4 teams are on their bye this week, kind of at the halfway point.
Okay.
Big Monday, 9:00. Manhattan, Kansas. You have a Kansas State team that is struggling, especially offensively. And if you have a Kansas team that is coming in on an emotional high against, but I guess the question is, like, how physical was that Houston game for them? Because they didn't take the normal beating that Houston physically gives somebody. I want to say this could be a trap spot for Kansas.
Kansas only favored 5.5, and ESPN Analytics has not been crazy. They're giving Kansas State 33.2% chance to win this game. 5.5 is not many.
No, I think Kansas still wins this game, but you could see something funky happening here tomorrow night for sure. For sure. And then no Wednesday games this week. So the rest of the slate is on Tuesday. Poor Oklahoma State.
Poor Oklahoma State.
We love them. We are big Cowboy fans here.
Not bullish on them, but we love them.
Yeah, I don't think they're good. I like them.
They're just fun to watch.
Right. They're going to get their teeth kicked
Houston.
in.
Yeah, I would
They're
love
going to get
see
their
them
teeth
upset
kicked in. Houston, coming off getting drilled at Kansas, is hosting Oklahoma State on Tuesday night. Oh, bloodbath. Thank God it's Oklahoma. Like, thank God Cincinnati's got the bye week this week and not Houston at Houston on Tuesday night.
Right.
Let them get that out of their system.
I hope it's a physical game. I hope that Houston gets knocked around a little bit. So do your thing, Okie.
Yeah. Iowa State at Texas. Can Texas be good 2 games in a row? Are they allowed to do that?
No.
No? Okay. I like Iowa State.
This game's a coin flip game. Iowa State is 51.8%, which means Texas is only 48.2 according to ESPN's analytics. We'll see.
BYU at Oklahoma. I think BYU pulls the upset here.
This is another one that, again, a coin flip, 48.1% to BYU. Oklahoma, 51.9%. Oklahoma's done nothing to impress me thus far this season.
Yeah.
And you won at Cincinnati. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. We all agree Cincinnati did not play really well that night. So, whatever.
In this conference, Cincinnati is about a 500 team. So,
yeah.
So are you, Oklahoma.
And if you like the stat that I threw out earlier, you might want to put $1 or $2 on the Bears. Texas Tech at Baylor.
Baylor is favored by a lot.
Really?
77.9%, according to ESPN's analytics. Maybe they're on the same thing though. Maybe they're noticing the same trend there. I don't know, but I mean, I would be thinking, especially watching how frustrated Pop Isaacs was, I'd be thinking Baylor is probably primed right now to be picking on that dude a little bit.
Doing what Cincinnati did to frustrate him is not easy. I was talking about this with a coaching friend, and I think we talked about it a little the other night about icing and how difficult it is to really ice ball handlers the way that Cincinnati does.
I don't think you're going to replicate somebody. Yeah, I don't think you're going to be able to replicate it as Baylor. They haven't shown me that they're capable of doing that. That said, I think he's going to be quick to frustrate again coming off of a game like that. If he doesn't get hot early, you have a very good chance of him being in his head for a second.
I think these are pretty clearly the two best offenses in the league. Neither are stellar defensively. So this one you could see in the 80s, I think.
Yeah, over-under's not currently available, but I'd be super curious to see what that ends up being on this one.
I would guess
144 and a half, 140, maybe as high as 149 and a half.
152 and a half. I mean, there's not a lot of resistance in either of those teams. And they can let it fly. Hi, Luke. That'll do it. We'll see you tomorrow night for the BBP. This is the Nightcap. That was Big 12 Sunday. See you next time right here on BearcatJournal.com.
See ya.